So today I am back with another unboxing and review video of our newest Fat Tire electric bike. Today this is going to be the HAOQI Leopard. Again, this is another Fat Tire electric bike just like the other one that we have. So let's get it unboxed and put together. So before we take this bike for a ride, I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of a brief rundown here. So again, this is the Snow Leopard by HAOQI. They have two Leopard edition bikes, the green Snow Leopard, which is this bike, and then they also have the white Leopard, with the difference being with the green Snow Leopard, the handlebars are a little more laid back on the green Snow Leopard versus the white Leopard. They're kind of more of a vertical position. But this bike has a max payload of 350 pounds, and then here on the little back rack you can carry roughly 55 pounds, which is pretty significant on such a little back rack there, but that's pretty impressive. So this bike, just as most other Fat Tire all-terrain bikes, has the Shimano 7-speed gear system built in. And here on our handlebar, it's pretty easy to utilize here. So you just have a power button. One quick push will turn the LED display screen on, which is pretty hard to see out here in the light, to be quite honest. And I do have the backlight turned all the way up on that. So once we're in some dimmer light, I kind of can go through that a little bit better. But here on the handlebar, you have your pedal assist features up for more assist, down for lower assist or no assist, of course. You have a light button here, so that turns on both your headlight and your brake lights, which is nice. And then you have a little horn. Cute little horn. Of course, both brakes here, front and back, and then your throttle here. This bike out of the box came half charged, so that should last you long enough. I don't know exactly the specs on the battery length time. They did not provide that in the specs of this bike. It did say, however, on zero charge, it would take roughly 7 to 8 hours to completely charge the bike again. So we'll take it for a spin and see what we think. We'll go ahead and turn this light off here. Another nice feature too of this bike, once we get into the LED system here, I'll kind of show you. So now that we're in a little bit of a dimmer lit area, I'll kind of give you a better overview here of the features on the handlebars. So you have your LED screen here, which you see your speed displayed in miles per hour. Here is your average speed. If you wanted to cycle through the features, you would just hit this little I button on the side. And you can kind of see that changing there. So you have your total trip in total miles, your overall life mileage on the bike, your max speed, and then your average speed. Now this bike in default comes set in miles per hour. So if you wanted to switch that, you would just come over here and push the the plus and minus sign. You'll see here that the screen will kind of blink, and this is where you would adjust all of your parameters. So depending on which version of the bikes you got, you would have to correlate that with your user's manual, but this will blink and then you can push your plus or minus sign and it will cycle through the different features. So this here would be your setting for miles per hour. If you wanted to switch that to kilometers, you could do so by just clicking the info button there, and then you can cycle through that. Once you are done, hit the info again, so you cycle back, and then you could just go through all of the different settings. This is also where you would change the brightness on your LED screen. However, like I said, we do have that turned completely up, and that's as bright as it gets. So it is kind of dim on a sunny day, but you can still see what you're doing there. So you have your headlight there, your little horn. your power button, which turns the bike on and off. In your parameters, you can also set to how long the bike will remain on if not in use. So by default, that stays at 10 minutes, but I did reduce that down to 5 minutes just to save our battery life. And then here also, if you turn the bike back on, you see your screen kind of cycle through. That's just running through everything. So you have your battery life there, or your total charge, excuse me. And then over here, you also have a light button. So on the screen, which goes super dim, but you see that your lights are turned on, so that you would know that your headlight is on. Turn those on and off, and it's back to being able to be easier seen. And just as a quick reference to here on your battery pack, you see that you're half charged. Just a quick push of that little gray button. You have to hold it down, but you'll see your battery life there. So overall, I'm very impressed with how quickly this bike was able to be set up. So overall, I'm very impressed with how quickly we were able to set the bike up. Right out of the box, I had the bike completely together within about a half hour. All we had to do, like you saw, was put the front tire on, the mud, we had to tighten down the back mud guard, put the front mud guard on, the headlight, and then just attach the handlebar and tighten our seat. Another nice thing too, I forgot to mention about this bike, was this super cushioned seat. As you see, it's really nicely padded. And then it also has a small shock absorber there. So if you were riding this in all-terrain areas, which obviously we will be, that's an extra nice feature there. I also forgot to mention too, these keys, all that does is lock your battery pack. So if you were parking this in a public area, you could go ahead and unlock that and take your battery pack with you if need be, or you can just lock the bike completely up that way so that nobody else was able to use it. So this green snow leopard is approximately 75 pounds total. It has a maximum payload capacity of 350 pounds. Your back little rack here has a max capacity of approximately 50 pounds, which is really nice. They do recommend that the rider is approximately at least 5'3" and a max of a roughly 6'6". So it's quite a wide range of heights that you can utilize this bike with. I'm 5'5" and I'm quite comfortable on the bike. The seat will adjust up to 38 inches if need be. It has 2 tires, both of which being 26 inches by 4 inches, which is a nice size if you are utilizing this bike for off-road. It has a 5-level pedal assist. The electric motor that is included on this green snow leopard is 750 watt, so just utilizing the accelerator, you can pretty much get from 0 to 14 miles an hour in just a few seconds. It's got some good get up and go, but if you did go ahead and utilize the pedal assist, which you have levels 1 to 5, you could easily go 20 miles an hour. Just now in the field, I took it for a test drive, and going uphill in a pedal assist of 1, I had Scout going at 21 miles an hour. So that's pretty impressive for such a small, compact bike. The total length of this bike is approximately 75 inches. So if you were interested in putting this even into a small, compact truck, you would have no issue with that. The only thing is, it is a little bit on the heavier side. Like I said earlier, it's roughly about 75 pounds. So it is a lot for one person to be able to lift into the back of a truck. But your wheelbase is roughly 45 inches there. So it's a nice, compact, quick, get up and go kind of bike. So after riding the bike around quite a bit, my honest review would be it's a pretty decent bike. The only thing I really didn't enjoy about the bike was the way that the handlebars were set, because they are a little bit lower and they're tilted backward. It's a little bit awkward for someone of my height. It felt like my wrists were absorbing a lot of the shock going through the woods and the field, but the width of the tires was nice. The shock absorbing seat was really nice, and then the response time of the accelerator was probably the nicest aspect of the bike. As soon as you put power to it, it's reacting and you're going. I guess some people could see that as a good thing or a bad thing, depending on where you were. If you were on flat, even terrain, the instant reaction time of that throttle is nice. But if you're on an area that's not exactly smooth, or there are a lot of tree ruts, that's something that could be, I guess, a little bit dangerous. But overall, I think it's a really nice bike.